What's up, guys? Hope you're having a good day. Joey here, back at it again. Made a nice little 245 today, so slowly catching up, back up after yesterday's loss. So yeah, let's start with this open range. But first, I just wanted to let you guys know that this line right here was actually yesterday's high at 17,745. I've been drawing lines from like the previous day's highs and lows, and I've been noticing that they're usually they can be areas of support or even areas of rejection. So I've been definitely trying to get better about drawing those lines. The open range would actually be from 17,768 all the way down to 17,700. I'd say 701. So Nasdaq right off the bat, the moment market opened, started to sell off. Had obviously found a support at around 702, 703. Now, one thing I want you guys to pay attention to, and this is what I was paying attention to leading up to right here, was look at how at first it had some trouble breaking below this moving average. And then for about 3 minutes, we tried to break above it and was having trouble. Then when we break above it, we almost hold it as a support for about 4 to 5 minutes, guys. And I mean, even right here, we break below it, we barely touch that open range support, and we get rejected. I mean, the moment it happened, it got rejected. So I said, you know what? I said I'm gonna go short if we get rejected. The EMA, we got rejected, and I said, you know what? I had my finger on the trigger. I was ready to get out, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see if this breaks below. Well, as you can see on this candle right here, the moment we touched it, it got rejected. Um, and so I was like, I was teeter tottering in the green. I was like up $150, up like $80. I kept bouncing around in that range. And so I was like, I was really close to selling, but I decided to sell once we touched that open range support, mainly just because it did at one, the moving average was acting as support, but on top of that, I obviously was a little bit worried with all of this going on right here, even in like a short of a 10 span period. I was a little worried that we were either going to see a bounce off the moving average or a strong bounce off the open range support, which we've seen in the past before. So I decided, you know what? Once I saw that I was up over $200 and we got that break below the moving average and we started to touch that open range support, I just took profits. I was really happy with it. Good, nice little move. It was my only trade for the day. Now, this is one thing I do want to mention. I'm not saying I am trying to, but it's something that like I have written down right here on one of my notepads, and it's that I'm only going to do one trade a day. And I do really feel like if I would have just done my one trade and give myself, 2, 3 minutes of just letting it run and seeing if it's going to go in my direction, I've just realized that like I've been looking back at like all my red days, guys, and I've been noticing like especially on these big days. So like last Tuesday, I took a $384 loss, and that was off of like one trade, I think. Like that right there, that's my ideal red day right there. That's a perfect red day in my eyes. One trade doesn't go my way. I'm down 350, 400. I dip. I can live with that. And the one thing I've been noticing through my big red days is they all have one thing in common. One, I usually end up taking a red trade, and I automatically want to make it back. And I got to get myself into the position of, hey, like I want to be more selective with my trades is what I'm trying to say, guys. I feel like if I can be more selective and I can wait for that perfect setup, wait for direction to be clear, then I can get that I can have those really good executions and those really good trades. And I won't need to do 2 or 3 or 4 trades. At the end of the day, I don't know about you guys, but for me at least, I don't want to be on the computer all day trading. You know, the one thing I do love about trading, and that the biggest thing I see about trading is that like trading is one of those things where you know I have to work like a full 8 hour shift at my job to make 150, something like that, and $200, whatever. And with trading, I can do it in less than 5 minutes and before 10 a.m. and be done. You know, that's one of the things I absolutely love about trading, guys. And I think that if I can get myself just to be, like accept just doing one trade a day, knowing when to walk away and knowing when to let my runners run. I think, and making sure I cut my losses obviously pretty quick, getting better about cutting my losses, trying to get, if direction's going in my favor, I need to understand, like, I need to remind myself while I'm in the trade. Because, like I said, it's so much easier said than done. I can sit here and tell you guys 20 different things that would help me. But at the end of the day, very few are going to be, easy to actually do. And the one thing that I will say is if I can get better about cutting my losses quick and letting my runners run, and what I mean by that is like if I'm in the green, for instance, guys, let's look at this trade. This is a great example today. Look at how much profit I missed out on. I missed out on all of this. And the reason why was because I got out at the open range support. But the way I should have seen it is I should have taken a step back and I should have been like, hey, we not only did we get rejected at the EMA, which counts as a lower high, but on top of that, we got a clean break below the moving average, and now we're testing the open range support. And if I would have just given it time, look, nice strong pullback, strong little red candle. Obviously, we got rejected. We did test this area around 700, but then it continued selling off, hit a lower high right here, sold off even more. I mean, it's a textbook setup, lower lows, lower highs, directions clear as day, all the way from, the moment we tested the EMA and proved that it was a lower high, all the way down to here at around 611. Beautiful direction. And I'm not saying I should have caught it all because, like, at the end of the day, nobody knows where the bottom is, just like nobody knows where the top is. But the one thing that, like, I should have told myself and reminded myself is like, hey, if we're seeing a continuation on my side, for instance, like I'm going short, I'm going short, and we're still hitting lower lows and lower highs. At the end of the day, there's no point of really taking profits until I see a break of pattern, until we stop hitting lower lows or lower highs, and we start to see a reversal. You know, and like I said, it's a lot easier said than done. It's something that that's going to take me probably a few years to get really good at. This is definitely not one of those things where, you know, it's not one of those things where it's like it's easy to learn, because it's like one thing that, like, you guys have seen me really struggle is I miss out on so much profit, but yet I'm taking profits when I'm up $200-300, and I'm missing out on 8, 9, $1,000 profits right here, you know, and right now it matters, but it doesn't, because like I'm trying to do the combine to get the funded 50K account. But then on the other hand, it's like I'm trying to get myself to realize, like, hey, once I do get this funded account, I'm going to want to make as much money as possible so that way I can pay myself as much money as possible, right? Like, that's the whole point of this funded account shit, right? So I need to be able to have those little pauses during trades where I'm like, hey, if we're still seeing progress on my side, don't get out. Wait till we see a break of pattern, then take your profits, you know? And this is something that's going to definitely take me some time to learn. But I really just want to show you guys this trade that made me $245 in about 5 minutes. If you guys get any questions, please comment below. Smash that sub button. It's always much appreciated. If you guys would love to see got any recommendations for future videos, please let me know. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you all have a good day.